Welcome to Sew and Tell, where sewists from fashion theater and indie sewing bring their different perspectives to the hottest topics in the sewing community. I'm Meg Healy.
I'm Amanda Carestio.
And I'm Kate Zeinard. We are so excited about our episode today because it is officially our 50th episode.
Woohoo!
Wow. Yeah.
So we're going to talk about what we loved about our first 49 episodes and how the podcast has changed us over the past 2 years. And then, of course, we'll play some of our favorite games. We'll each share a little something in our SewJo segment. Then we'll ask you to share something too. But before we begin, how are you all feeling about 50 episodes?
I feel amazing about 50 episodes, but also, it just continues to surprise me that we have so much to say about sewing.
I know.
I mean, we have talked about we've talked about some big picture topics. We've talked about some really niche topics, but I feel like I could go on forever. Our list of potential next episodes is so long, and I don't know, it's surprising and not surprising, but also makes me really happy.
Yeah. When we first started this whole thing, I kept thinking, I want this to go on a long time. I want to keep doing this for a while, but how are we ever going to come up with stuff to talk about?
Yeah.
And even now,
Right.
We come up with the most basic idea, prints, for example, and then we're like, okay, what do we say about this? And by the time we're done recording, we're like, well, that went over our expected time.
Right.
It's amazing how much.
Yeah. I couldn't even count on one hand episode I forget not all forget them, but I was like, what did we talk about for so many? But then I something sparks my memory and I'm like, oh yeah, we did mention that on the pod or something. But yeah, I can't believe it's been 50 episodes. It's crazy good.
Yeah. All right. So let's jump in to our first topic, which is really just kind of more of this.
Yeah.
As we just said, I'm not sure any of us believed that we would actually be able to talk about sewing topics for 50 episodes, but here we are, and we've got more coming up. So we thought we'd celebrate this milestone by looking back at the past couple of years. And the first thing we're going to do is go back all the way to the first episode, to a segment where we answered some questions to help our listeners get to know us. So here we are in our very first episode.
Carrying along with getting to know us, we are going to play a fun little game, and please feel free to play along. These are important life questions we're going to address here, and we're just going to go around and each take a turn. The first question is, ladies, are you ready?
I'm ready.
What is your sewing superpower?
Ooh.
Meg, you want to go first?
Sure. Mine is definitely speed. I am a speedy sewer. I don't think as speedy as Amanda here. I'm hoping I'm not. We don't have dueling superpowers.
It's a sew-off.
It's a sew-off, but I'm pretty fast at sewing. Usually people are astounded by, they drop off an alteration and they're just sitting on the couch and I'm like, it's done. And they're like, wow. So I like to say speed. Yeah.
Speed. It's a good one. What about you, Kate?
Okay, so this is a little weird, but my sewing superpower is that I'm strangely better at stuff when I'm in odd situations. And what I'm thinking of specifically is one time I was filming a sew-along, and I had to understitch a collar, and I had to stand off to the side of the machine because the camera was over my shoulder, and I was standing, which I never sew standing, so it was very strange. And somehow this was the best understitching I have ever done in my life. So you put me in a weird and uncomfortable situation where I shouldn't be able to sew well, and all of a sudden I can. So there you go. That's my sewing superpower.
Oh, I usually crack under
skill.
the pressure, and that's where I make all my mistakes usually. That's awesome, though. Okay.
That's what I was expecting. And then I finished sewing it. I'm like, man, that was good. I'm magic. How about you, Amanda?
Mine is definitely that I am an excellent guesstimator of lengths under 36 inches.
Oh my God, that's
husband
amazing.
always tries to outguess me, and I always win. I'm trying to think of a way to turn it into, a game at the bar, and I would just I would win champion every time. I'm deadly under 36 inches.
Nice.
Wow, that came out of left field, but I love it. I wish I had a little bit of that. I miss like ruler over here. If I didn't have a ruler, I would go crazy. So that's so cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at guesstimating, but I can only do it up to about 2 inches.
Yeah,
So
2 inches.
I'm very impressed.
I'll show it off sometime, you guys. Next up, super fun, and also probably the question that I thought hardest about. What is your sewing mascot? Kate, take it away.
All right, well, you guys are going to laugh at me. I tried really hard to come up with something other than this, but of course my sewing mascot is a cat. And that is because I'm kind of a lazy sewer and I like to take a lot of naps. But then when something actually catches my attention and really inspires me, then I'm actually very effective and very focused, just like a cat when they see something they want to hunt. So I'm going to go with Cat being my sewing mascot.
I love it.
Thank you.
For me, I thought, I'm just reading it now again, and when I originally read it, I thought it said, who is your sewing mascot? And I obviously wrote Bunny because he's just always around. And then literally just now, it's now, what is your sewing mascot? And I think I'm just going to keep with Bunny because, it's bunnies are, the Energizer Bunny, keep on going. So I'm glad that it still fits.
It's perfect.
Me too.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
You guys, I thought about this so hard. I even asked my husband. And then Kate had a really great suggestion, and that is a bee, because I am always super busy and I'm always super excited about something, buzzing around.
Super industrious.
And super industrious. So I think it's a good fit.
Oh, that's so fitting. Love it.
I know, right?
And once Amanda stings you, no, I'm just
Exactly. Deadly there. All right, you guys, you can only pick one. Not really, but if you had to, what is your sewing motto? I'll kick us off. It's not a traditional motto, but it's something that I've kind of started to think about more and more, just changing the language that I use when I think about and speak about my sewing. But I'm starting to use this different terminology, and when I refer to sewing now, I think of it as my sewing practice. And that little change has been kind of instrumental in me, like thinking about how sewing feeds my soul and my creative spirit, and that it has a deeper meaning for me, kind of in the way that yoga does. It's kind of focused more on the process rather than the end result, and kind of acknowledging that there really isn't an end. It's just endless practice. And I don't know, it's really working for me.
Nice. I like it.
What about you, Kate?
Oh, well, my sewing motto is a little bit less philosophical, but maybe it's exactly as philosophical in its own way. My sewing motto is, nobody but you is ever going to notice that flaw. Because that is something I really struggle with. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I will sit here and I will stare at the little things I didn't get right and the weird places where there's a thread wrong or I'm slightly crooked, and I will obsess over it and I will point it out to everybody who sees the thing that I made. And I just have to learn that most people just look at what you made and they're like, well, it's cool that you made that, and they don't care about the flaws or notice them. So yeah, that's my sewing motto. I need to always keep in mind.
Well, next time I see you, Kate, I'm going to be looking for them just so you justify it. No, I'm just joking.
it.
I won't do that.
No, I mean, if you take a close look at anything you've ever bought,
I know.
I mean,
totally.
it has tons of flaws. So why hold yourself to a higher standard?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. How about you, Meg? What's your sewing motto?
So mine is taking a page from Tim Gunn, and it's make it work, because I have never had a sewing project midway, something's happened. It just took a turn for the worse. I put it on. I'm like, oh my gosh. I literally make it work. I put a little extra something on it, make a belt, do this. If I cut it open with my serger by accident, I hide it. And so I truly do just make it work. And usually once I do that little thing that makes it work, I like it better than what I was originally planning. Sometimes it's kind of a happy mistake when you make a mistake and you actually like it better. So make it work.
All right. That was a lot of fun to listen to. I don't know if you guys enjoyed it, but I was like, Wow, we sounded so good and professional. I thought we'd sound shaky and nervous.
I thought the same thing. I was like, I thought for sure I would listen to that first episode and just reminisce about how much I've grown. But I feel like, we were already having fun, and I also feel like we were already gelling together as a group.
Oh, totally.
So well,
Yeah.
I thought that was something that had developed over the years, and I'm sure it has. But
Right.
I was really surprised by how smooth that one
Yeah.
came off.
Well, just a little behind the scenes secret for our listeners. If you guys recall, we actually did a couple of test episodes before we recorded that final episode. So, episodes that never saw the light of day, and I don't think ever will. And they maybe for 100, we'll see. But I think that helped us a lot get to that point where we were able to sit down and just work together.
Yeah, no.
I always find it's just when I listen to Do It Back, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm still as cringy to sound as when I remember it now. There's something about just listening. Like I don't mind watching myself, but sometimes when I listen back to the episodes, like it's just like
I know it is hard to listen to.
It is hard to listen to yourself.
It's the funny thing. It's the opposite for me. Like I have gotten used to listening to my own voice. I don't even think about it anymore. And when I have to watch myself on video, I'm just like, oh, cringe. It's so bad. All right. So here's my first question for you guys. So we just listened to those 3 getting to know you questions. So have any of those answers changed for you? As a reminder, it was, what is your sewing superpower? What is your sewing mascot? And what is your sewing motto? So any changes, or is it all just still completely accurate?
I think my sewing mascot before was a bee, and I think that I'm still feeling that, but I think I want to shift to hummingbird.
Ooh.
So I'm just going to go ahead and claim that.
Hummingbird. For just half a second there, Amanda, I thought you were going to claim a murder hornet, and I was like, and then you didn't, so.
No.
Murder hornet.
I mean, it's good to have goals, though. Maybe next year I can get to murder hornet level.
Oh,
that's what I'm shooting for. I was thinking about I did not remember at all what I said my sewing motto was. And so it was really surprising to go back and listen to that. And I was like, dang, like sewing practice, so crunchy. But I still love it. I love it so much. I still do. I don't know that I feel so scattered right now that I don't feel like there's one single motto to really sum up my experience and perspective. But I really do. That one still resonates with me.
Good. How about you, Meg? Everything still work for you?
Yeah, they're all the same. My sewing superpower is still speed. I almost finished a full dress just this morning, so that was fun. And it even had like I even like double turned some of the seams, the edge of the facing. I even like pressed it in. It wasn't just the certain, so I made extra special details to it, which is always kind of nice when you're like, maybe I will do a little French seam here and stuff. But when I think, because it's this gorgeous silk, and so it just feels so good in my hand. It's like it deserves to have a double turn. Like I don't know. So
I need to be sewing this a little longer.
A little longer, exactly. But still, I think I'll finish it after this, and I, banked on tomorrow to finish it. But I think I'll finish it today. So speedy, here I am. And then my sewing mascot is obviously never changed. It's a bunny, and the Energizer bunny. Keep going, and I always have a bunny near one down. I'm down one bunny, but I still have Bubbly, who is the most speedy bunny we've had. He is.
Is he fast?
He got the zoomies. He is so fast.
Bunnies get zoomies? I did not know that.
Oh, they get zoomies. I think the smaller bunnies do. Like he's a bit smaller than what Bunny and Burry were. So he is super fast. And he likes to chew my serger foot. There's like this cork on it, and so I've had to peel it all so he doesn't eat it. And so he's like a little like, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, that hasn't changed. He's funny, and then make it work is my motto. And I think it's just evolved, and I think I've made my works even better, with filming Style Revive. When I'm halfway through filming, because they are upcycled projects, I do something and I say, Julian, cut the camera. I'm like, I totally just wrecked it, and I was like, I need to think of something to fix it. And then so nothing's changed for me.
Awesome.
How about you, Kate?
I am still a somewhat lazy sewer with laser focus when something gets my attention, so I'm sticking with the cat.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think I'll ever give up on the motto that's basically nobody's ever going to notice that flaw. Just don't obsess over it. I don't know about my sewing superpower. I don't feel like I've really had much experience with that being able to sew better in weird situations. In the past couple of years, it's not really resonating with me anymore, but I can't think of any other sewing superpower that I have. So maybe you guys give me an idea, or don't. Whatever, it's fine.
I don't know, Kate. I get to sew with you on camera and see you in action, and I still feel like you're pretty darn skilled when it comes to being on camera. I completely freak out, but I don't know, you either do a really good job of keeping your cool and you're just nervous inside. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's still very much a skill.
And your accuracy too. Like I always
Very
find I'm
true.
a bit less because if we work with sponsors or stuff, the logo needs to be, so the sewing machine is so you're in a very strange, like not your usual sewing position. Like you're not like you're standing and like one arm is, and you can't get this hand in the shot to help guide because it blocks the camera.
Right.
So there's so many, but you are still so accurate at like, it's like a weird position you have to sew on camera in.
All right. I guess I still retain my sewing superpower, and
still
I just don't
got it.
notice it anymore because I'm just so good at it.
I think that definitely that's still yours.
I would say that in regards to superpowers, I'm still really good at guessing small distances under a yard. But I also feel like in the last couple of years, I don't know, whenever I feel like my Tetris skills have gotten really strong.
Ooh.
Like getting going way under the recommended fabric amount for patterns.
That is so funny. Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't know if I've just like bought fabric and then decided what I was going to make with it more recently and had to make it work, or what. I don't know. It's definitely I feel like I've been doing it a lot lately, like cutting it really close.
That is a superpower I would like to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Tetris.
Yeah, I'm not that good at it. I just have to. Things just get short. I'm just like,
I do some of that
too. But then it feels really good when you cut it out and you have the time, like you don't have like a weird scrap left over. You're like, it just totally clears out.
It goes
that
away.
Piece of fabric.
Exactly.
It just goes away, and that's always a really good feeling too.
It is. You're right.
It definitely is. And see, I'm more likely to have like a third of a yard left over and save it and be like, I can do something with this, and I can't, but I save it anyway just in case. Someday I'm gonna make the weirdest patchwork thing you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
All right, well, let's talk about our past episodes. I want to know what your guys' favorite episode or episodes, we don't have to stick with just one, what are they? What really sticks out in your mind? Meg, how about you start us off?
I have to say, and like what I said before is I hate listening to myself back, but the only episode that I like really listened back to multiple times is the wedding episode with Mimi G. I mean, that was so fun.
So fun.
And even like Julian listened to my parents. It's like the only episode I think my parents have even listened to. And that was just such a fun episode. And that's definitely my favorite. It was just, it was really fun.
Oh, yeah, that's sweet.
What about you, Kate?
Oh, you're throwing it back at me.
Yes, I did.
You know, the ones that really stick out in my head, this is so funny to me, but our trend episodes, all of them. The fall and spring trend episodes that we generally do every year. You know, the first time we did one of those, I was like, oh God, I'm so not into trends. And I looked at all of the things that Meg had sent, and I'm like, God, I hate all of these things. And I just actually love doing those episodes. Every time I enjoy sitting down and looking at them and with you guys and seeing what appeals to you and why you like it, and discussing how we could take, you know, the stuff that we like and even some of the stuff we don't like and make it into something that we could like. And just, I don't know, I just have so much fun doing those episodes every time. And I discovered on this last one, I was really looking forward to it. And I ended up, as you may recall, I ended up liking all of the things that we did, or I ended up liking a lot of the trends. I don't know where my brain just went right there. Sorry, guys. I ended up liking a lot of the trends, but I was excited before I knew it. I mean, I could have hated every single trend for this fall, and I still think I would have enjoyed that episode. I have a lot of fun with those.
Oh, that warms my heart that those are your favorite.
Yeah, I just always look forward to doing them. And I also really liked the body positivity episode.
Yeah,
that was on my list.
Yeah, that was a great one too.
I didn't mean to get onto your list, but it was,
oh no,
that was a hard episode. It was hard to record. It really got kind of personal and deep in your feelings and stuff. But I really felt like it was just an important topic to talk about, and it was good to share that with each other and with our listeners.
I agree. That one was on my list, and I have to say that I have had a similar journey with our trends episodes. Like I wasn't really excited about them at first, and now I think they're really
now
fun.
I know you guys are
yeah, you guys, you have brought us, I feel like, and that's an amazing thing, is that I feel like through the podcast we've all influenced each other in really interesting and fun ways. But I think that episode for me it points out how we are all so different in our perspectives and our approach and what we like, and I really love that. Even if like this past round I didn't particularly love the trends as much, it's always just fun to like get in there and duke it out and share our personal feelings about them. My other favorite, I was looking back through the list because honestly I feel like these conversations are so fun and kind of effortless at this point. I mean, effort goes into them, but I don't feel like I remember everything we've talked about. So I went through all of our podcast posts, and I forgot about the Sewing Slump episode, which is episode 8, way back in the day.
Wow.
I think it was probably like early spring of 2019, and we were it was 2019, and it was cold,
probably
and
late winter.
Yes, exactly, late winter.
Yeah.
We were all kind of feeling slumpy about sewing, so we kind of talked through that and talked through some ideas to get kind of re-inspired. And I don't know, I love that episode. I was just listening to it again and thinking, because I'm kind of feeling like I'm not in a slump, but I'm kind of just scatterbrained. Like I don't know what I'm going to sew next, and I don't really have a plan. So it's really good to kind of revisit that episode and remember, like, this is totally a cyclical thing. I feel like it's awesome because we usually don't, like, maybe one of us is in a bit of a slump, but the other two are like busy sewing and excited about what they're sewing next. So we kind of take turns, and I feel like we kind of always like bring ourselves out of the slump by talking on the podcast. I feel like for me personally, it's really inspiring. The other thing that happened with that episode is that we got really great feedback from people who said, thank you for talking about this. And I think that was one of the first moments when I was like, oh man, like what we talk about means something to people and like touches people. And I don't know, that was an early moment when I was like, wow, like being on this podcast is fulfilling in a lot of different and unique ways. So
That's awesome. Thank you for reminding me about that episode. I had kind of
So good.
forgotten about it, and it's funny because I'll bring it up too, because this whole summer has been very hard for me and I haven't been sewing very much.
Yeah.
And so I've been bringing up the sewing slump a lot, but I kind of forgot about that episode. And yeah, I think it's really a valuable thing to think about. And as a quick reminder for any of our listeners who joined after that very early episode, that was episode 8, if you want to go back and listen to it. And I'm actually going to use that as a segue into the next thing I wanted to talk about, because I think what you said, Amanda, that whenever we record this podcast, I don't think there's anything like this podcast in my life that inspires me so much. Because y'all know I'm bad at Instagram. I kind of scroll through and it's fine, but Instagram is not my huge source of inspiration most of the time. Sitting here and talking with you guys about prints and patterns and different types of clothing and everything, that's what, and trends, oh my gosh, that's what helps me find my inspiration when I'm not missing it. And that's something that has really changed the way I function in my sewing practice because of this podcast. So I want to check in and see if the podcast has changed any of your sewing practices, Amanda.
I'm trying to think about sewing practices. The changes that I've really noticed over time are kind of more personal, and I think that's surprising to me because yes, doing this podcast is part of our jobs, but we pour a lot into it and we get a lot out on a really personal level.
Yes.
So the way my sewing has changed has probably been I think I've actually slowed down a little bit over the 2 years. Um and maybe I'm feel more scattered because I'm always talking to you about great ideas and I'm like, "Oh, well maybe I should make that instead." But all of those things I think are good things. I feel like over the 2 years of doing this, I've gotten a lot more confident in my communication and just on the podcast, less afraid of making mistakes. But I also feel like in other areas of my life, I've become a better communicator. And that's a really interesting thing. Yeah, I feel like that's probably been the biggest impact. Having the moment to put to words a lot of things that I'm just constantly kicking around in my head too, like all the like deep thoughts I have about sewing, I get to talk about them with you too. Um and I don't know, I feel like I'm still I was listening to that first episode when we were giving our introductions and I feel like I've really delivered on my indie sewing with a slightly crunchy spin promise. So, in that way, I've been very consistent.
Yeah, well, kind of speaking of that's kind of like what's changed in my sewing practice. Like pretty much like before there's been lots of, changes within the, where, we've worked and different things happening. And I was kind of really more associated with Berta when we started. And through this podcast, I've been introduced to so many like the indie sewing pattern world. Like that's kind of the biggest shit. Like
Yeah.
I really have only started sewing with indie patterns since this podcast. Like, asking you guys questions like, what are you sewing? Getting so many ideas and having indie designers on and just like kind of that whole world. So that's been my huge sewing practice thing. And going back to another favorite episode is, the great sewing pattern debate. That was a really fun one too. Just kind of discussing, indie big four, paper, those key things and how like if I were to record that podcast, maybe now re-record it, maybe some things would change, with different experiences and stuff. So that's really what's changed for me.
Well, I'm going to throw in a couple extra things of my own because I feel like in a lot of ways this podcast really has affected how I sew. And one of them is that I have tried out so many things that I don't think I ever would have done.
Ah.
Like I actually sewed a jumpsuit. I've worn it once. I like the way it looks, but it's just a little too hard to wiggle my arms out of it when I need to use the bathroom, and so I haven't worn it since. But I feel like you two kind of encouraged me to stretch my preferences and look at new things and change up what I'm doing and consider things that I would just naturally dismiss without thinking about it. And I really love that. I feel like I've become a better sewer because of it. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is Meg, as you said, you were mostly working with Berta before you started this podcast. And because you did that and because you're in Canada, we didn't really work with you very much.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like, I barely
like
knew
no-
you before
Oh,
we
I
started this
know.
podcast. And now, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to tell Meg about this thing that I did over the
No,
weekend.
it's been nice.
I think it's kind of cool. I mean, I consider you a friend, and I think it's really neat that
for
we've gotten to
sure.
that point now.
Yeah, that's so true. Especially for me, like I've always worked, like it's not even just this pandemic. I've always worked from home, for many years. And so not just like talking about sewing and talking to like sewing friends as opposed to like meeting talk, which is just
Right.
different. So this has just been such
Right.
a light in my week and for sure. And now, when I come visit, like we're all, going out. And so hopefully I can visit again soon. I
Yeah.
miss traveling.
We need
Oh.
some margaritas.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
we
do.
definitely need some margaritas together. But that's so sweet that you brought that up. Yeah, I totally
very true.
Feel that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I need to credit Meg with like making me sew a jumpsuit. They've become from one of like my favorite things to sew now. I feel like definitely more experimental with because I'm still
And
super
animal
practical.
prints too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm maybe, I was so practical and I do love that about sewing, but I feel like it is nice to take a break from that and do just because projects.
And then you made me like my elastic waist pant. Like I would have never like I've gone a bit more crunchy, 100%. Like more like
come on
totally.
over.
It's so cool how we can just like take little bits of everybody. It's so cool. Like
definitely. And Amanda's love of hacking, I think, too, has kind of made me feel more comfortable with just messing with this line, messing with that
messing
line.
around.
Yeah, exactly. So
and learning about Kate's like theater like it's just so interesting. Like her like it's just so interesting. All of how you even started not even sewing for yourself. I was like, what?
I know.
It's really weird when I think about that because I do so pretty much exclusively for myself, and it's so funny to think I spent so many years sewing exclusively for everybody but myself.
Wow, yeah, that is crazy.
I think we make a pretty good team, and I think we make a pretty good podcast, if you ask me.
Yeah, we do.
All right. Let's take a quick break, and then let's come back and do one of our favorites that we didn't mention, which is games.
Yes,
yay!
Games. Over the last 50 episodes, we have had so much fun developing and playing little sewing word and chance games. So naturally, we have to bring them back for this special anniversary episode. If each host wants, and I think we all want to, we can roll for a future project mate out of our comfort zones with the sew your roll charts. And then the bowls come out to play. The bowls. It just, yeah.
Yeah,
I love it.
I definitely want to do Sew Your Roll again. I was so excited to launch this hashtag and this whole initiative, and then the pandemic hit 4 days later, and wow, people weren't paying attention to it. So maybe now, I mean, not like they had to pay attention to it, but I thought it was so cool and so much fun, and it really kind of got lost. So hopefully we can get it found again.
Can I share a really funny side story before we jump in?
Yeah.
Please. I was part of a group that launched a skating and sewing hashtag challenge.
I love
and
that.
we were discussing it in the group, and it was we looked and of course, So Your Role was already taken, so we had to come up with something different. I was like,
that's
oops,
funny.
that was me.
You did tell them?
Yes, our challenge was Sew and Roll, which was perfect.
yes.
But I just thought it was funny that it came back around.
That's funny.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Like, oh, do you know what would be a great name? Sew Your Role. And Amanda's like,
Oops, sorry.
Well,
you should each do a Sew Your Role for like a skater outfit. That'd be fun.
Ooh, I'll do a skater outfit.
Yeah, so this could be like, and I'm gonna do a golf outfit.
Yes, that's such a good idea.
Yeah, I actually just I had this like I was going through my clothes and I had this old like kind of white sweatshirt and it was just kind of boring. I was gonna get rid of it, but then I like cropped it and then I decided to look on my machine if there was any golf embroideries, and so I just did like a little golf monogram.
I saw that in your stories.
Yeah,
It was so cute.
I'm going golfing this weekend, so I need some. I just want to make all the golf outfits.
I know. Kate, can you please make sure I get neon pink as part of my Sew Your Role challenge?
I will do my best.
Please, thank you.
I've
Because I
got
have some fabric.
Yeah,
I don't have my charts up, so I'm depending on somebody else to.
I have them up.
Okay, great. So I'm just gonna roll and tell you what the numbers are, and then we'll have to see if Meg is going to lie for the pink.
No, I won't. No, I won't lie.
Let's set it up again. So basically, we've got our
right.
3 charts, and we are going to roll 3 times. And what are the different categories? I forget.
The first roll is what color your project is going to be. The second is what kind of shade it is. So is it going to be like a pastel, a bright, a neon, a mute? So I think this was part of our color episode. We developed this. So it's got the shade of the color. And then the third one is a detail it needs to have. So it could be like, a pocket, it needs to have buttons, those are the 3 rolls.
Yep.
All right. Well, I see Amanda just typed her initials on our running document, so I guess she's going first.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm taking notes.
Yes.
All right.
Come on, hot pink.
Come on, hot pink.
It's like the only time that has ever come out of my mouth.
I know, right? 5.
Black.
I can do that.
I know.
No problem.
Okay, now here's the problem: is shade for black, as I discovered, is hard.
Yes.
1.
Bright.
Bright black. That's what I got. I got bright black.
That's what you got?
Yeah, that's what I got.
You
last
had
time.
buttons too. You had buttons.
Yes. I had bright black and buttons.
Oh, okay.
All right. And 6. Isn't 6 buttons?
Oh my, that is buttons. Oh my gosh.
That's weird.
Are you serious?
Do you want something different, Amanda? Do we want to do it again? Because you got my exact same roll.
But
I can't
also,
believe
like,
that
can we get some spooky Halloween music right there?
I know, right?
Are you serious?
Yes, that is literally what I rolled.
Will someone do the math and figure out how many possible combinations there are? Because there are like a bazillion, right?
Like they each have 12 options.
They each have 12 options.
Yes.
That is spooky.
That is
Seriously.
super spooky. All right, we're going to do it again and see what we get.
Because we already made a black bright with buttons.
I mean,
like,
weird,
and it's not going to be better than my pirate shirt. Come on.
It won't. I don't have any pirate fabric.
So,
okay, I can't get over how spooky that was. Woo, okay, let's.
Okay, new roll.
Try again.
Crazy.
3. White.
Yeah.
Black then white? Of course.
Of
All
course.
right. Your white is 6.
A print.
White print.
Ooh. All right.
And your detail is 6 again. Buttons.
Buttons.
Oh,
all right.
They really want you to use buttons.
The sewing spirits.
Well,
The sewing
you said that you have been on a button kick lately,
It's
right?
true. I have like so many good vintage buttons to use. I was just trying to think like how could I buttons don't seem super like active wear to me. So how can I make that skate friendly?
I don't think they have to be active buttons. I don't think they
Mhm.
have to be like
Yeah,
buttons
no.
that work. They can just be
I'm thinking,
decorative
yeah.
buttons.
Do you know what they could do if it was like a skating like pair of shorts or something? It could be even like a stretch band, like you could make it tighter. Like there'd be different buttons on the waistband, and then if you stretch it more, like it could be kind of like a functional, cute button or something. I don't know,
Okay.
like on a waistband
I
detail.
think you can make it
or-
work.
Yeah,
Have to
I got
see what-
buttons last time too.
Wow.
We've all had buttons once. Wow,
Yes.
That's crazy.
I'm giving this
crazy.
die a little side look because I think it rolled 6 both times. So I'm setting it aside to think about what it's done.
I don't want that dice. I have like special green one that Kate rolls for me.
That's the green one. Are you going next, Meg, or you want me to go next?
You go next, Kate.
Okay.
You go.
All right. So my color 4.
Purple?
Oh,
I
yeah.
like purple. Okay.
Yes.
Unlike you guys who were not pleased when you rolled purple.
Yeah.
I think we
I
actually
don't like
cut
purple.
those because you were so
Yeah,
unpleased
I
with
was
your
like,
purple.
Sounds about right.
And an entirely different die just rolled a 6. So that's a print, right?
6 print. Yeah. Wow.
Purple print. That's okay. Heck, I'm wearing a purple print right now.
Yeah, you are.
And my detail. No, I am not taking buttons. Roll me something else. 7. It did. It rolled a 6. But 7.
bow.
7 is the number I'm getting. A bow. A
Bow.
bow.
Oh, that could be cute.
That could be cute. Purple print with a bow. I can make that work. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Fun.
All right. Meg, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, green die. Don't roll too many 6s. I don't know what it is with 6s today.
Oh, yeah.
8.
Oh my gosh, it's green.
Is it green again?
It is.
What?
Do you
What
want to
is
do something
happening?
different? Because you did green last time?
Yeah, what is actually happening? This is so crazy. Okay, roll again.
Roll again. Okay. Is
Okay,
it so?
I
Is
need
this
to
a
get out of my
different color?
comfort zone. Yeah,
Out of your comfort zone.
I've
Not
already done green.
7.
Oh, it's like a baby blue.
Well, it's any kind of blue.
It's like turquoise. Yeah, but
Oh, okay.
6 is like 6 is navy, 7 is blue. Right? Yeah, they're so it's blue.
Okay.
Okay, I can. Okay,
You do blue. Blue looks good with green.
can do
It's
blue.
fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine. I'll be fine.
Next, 12. I think that's the first time I've rolled a 12.
Oh, it's a pick your own shade.
Oh,
it's like a
nice.
free spot.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, I think I'm gonna do. It depends on what I find, but I think I'm gonna do sheer,
Sheer blue.
like an overlayer of like a sheer blue. I can make
Okay.
it into something. All right, I think I'm gonna do sheer.
All right. And your
Okay.
your detail
Ooh, okay.
is 9.
A lace insert. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to get creative.
Yes, you are.
I love that.
Okay. I know. I like a chat. Like, I wanted to do this again because the first one was so not a challenge
Yeah.
for me. I got
Right.
green, like neutral with button. I just like made a shirt I probably would have made anyway. So this is actually like I wanted like a challenge. So this is perfect. So blue sheer with a lace insert. Ooh,
This sounds
okay.
romantical.
I
It
know.
does.
Okay, this is what I need. I need a challenge. Okay, this is perfect. Awesome. Well, that was fun.
That was fun. All right, we've all got a new challenge. Do we have a due date on this one, or
Let's just say the end of the year.
okay?
How about that?
I
like
think
that.
I
Is that
could
doable?
probably pull that off.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. It's mostly just I don't think I have any purple print in my stash, so we'll see.
You could just put a bow on the shirt you're wearing.
I know, right? I was thinking that. I'm just like stitch a little bow right here and I'm done.
Oh, I love that's so much fun that I just when you're in a sewing rut or you just want to try something new. I feel like I've just been sewing the same thing in quarantine so this is good. I'll have to dig through my stash, but yeah, and it gives me something different to shop for. Like it gives me a whole other like section, when you just go to your fabrics that you just keep your same sections of the store, what you always buy. Like I would never ever buy a blue fabric. So I'm excited to. You never know it all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This is gonna be fun.
Well, and blue has so
Okay.
many good shades too.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, does it have to be for me? Because Julian's favorite color is blue.
Does he
I
need a
don't
lace
think-
inset?
I think he does need a lace insert. The funny thing is he would probably like it. He's so funny. I'm so happy to like be my husband. He will wear anything. He loves pink and he loves wearing floor. Like he will like literally wear anything. So I can put anything on him and he'll wear it.
That's awesome.
So we'll see. Okay. So now we have our bowl game. So I have mixed some options from past bowl games, and I have 3 in front of me. One bowl is where you are going to be wearing your garments, hypothetically, obviously. And then one bowl is a special feature of the garment, like a technique or something it has on it. And then the other one is the fabric. So it could be like a print or a color. And then we have to say what we would make. So where we're going, a characteristic of the fabric or the garment, and then the color or print it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Whew.
Yes.
Me too.
Okay. I was gonna do it like, do you want to do reveal where we're wearing it first or last? I forgot what we did last time.
I think we did it first last time. Maybe?
Okay,
I can't remember.
I think we did it first. Let's do it last time so we know what we're gonna make, and then we'll reveal where we're gonna wear it.
Okay.
Okay. So who wants to go first? We'll do Amanda first. We'll do the same as we
Same
did in
order.
the Sewing Slump. Yeah, in order. Okay.
I think I'm ready.
Okay, so this is the color black and white stripe.
Oh,
my
yeah.
Which Amanda
Two
is
rolls that you could
actually
just-
wearing right now.
Which
What?
there's something about this 50th episode. It's all like
So
oh my
magical.
gosh, it's magical. Wow, like Amanda's literally wearing black and white stripes right
Yep.
now. Okay, black and white stripe. Okay, let's see. Ruffled.
Amanda's
Ooh.
not wearing ruffles right
No.
now.
She's not wearing.
I don't usually.
And you are going to be wearing it to a haunted house.
Oh my gosh. I am going to make a Beetlejuice jacket with a ruffle.
Yes, you are.
Totally.
Oh, it's
That's
so cute.
perfect. I mean, that's perfect.
Just done. Like it was pretty much
Yeah.
done for me.
Yeah,
Peplum.
that's great.
Beetlejuice jacket.
Oh,
Awesome.
that's such a good
Okay.
movie. I love that. Okay. All right, Kate, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm not
Okay,
going to get
so-
as good a thing as this.
That was
That was
easy.
perfect. Okay, so purple and silver polka dot.
Okay. I actually
Yay.
love it.
I know. It's perfect.
The bowls, no, guys.
Yes, they do.
Okay, and the feature. All the top stitching needs to be decorative top stitching.
All right.
You got this.
Yeah.
I got this.
And then you're going to be wearing it too. You're going to be wearing it on a safari.
On a safari. Okay. Okay. No, that's fine because it's my very classic safari blouse, right?
Oh.
You know, with the pockets and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
The fabric, for the record, is kind of a dusty purple, and then the polka dots are the silver, and so it's kind of on the lighter side, and so then all of my top stitching is going to be in like a darker purple, in the same kind of
pretty.
shade. So it
that
so
would be
it,
pretty.
kind of emphasizes all of that. And then I'm going to make sure that I have a little safari hat that is silver like my polka dots.
Oh, that would be
Oh
so
my gosh.
cute.
I feel like you're going to be like super stylish Dora the
I'm gonna be
Explorer.
The most stylish Dora the Explorer.
silver
The tigers are gonna
binoculars.
love me, and I'm gonna make friends with them, and then I'm going to cuddle them and take them home with. Wait, no, this is
Tame
not it.
them.
Yes.
It's going to be amazing.
It is.
This is the season 2 of Tiger King.
Tiger Queen.
Tiger
Safari
Queen.
What shape are your decorative stitches? Are
Um,
they like swirlies or floral or just more dots?
I think they're pretty, actually. I think they're pretty standard. I think they're pretty standard straight stitches, but like maybe like a triple stitch, so they're kind of like a bean stitch. So they're like,
that would be cute.
yeah, so they like stand up.
You got to have some machine embroidery on there, like Silver Tiger. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't know if the polka dots and the silver tiger would really. I suppose I could do the pockets in a coordinating solid and then put the tiger on.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be
there.
cute.
Maybe a zebra on the other one. So maybe like tiger on one pocket, zebra on the other pocket, and definitely some like abalone shell buttons for the buttons, the pockets and stuff.
You can borrow some black and white stripe scraps from the Beetlejuice chat.
Exactly, for your zebra.
For my zebra, okay. And just because I had to, the shorts will be it's kind of silvery gray.
Yep.
To match the dots.
Perfect.
I see it. I can see it all.
You would look so good in that.
No, I wouldn't. I'd look horrible.
Yeah, you would.
But I love it.
Yeah, like those are your colors. Like I think that would be really pretty on you. Okay.
Okay.
And I love a silver hat. Okay. I actually have a silver
safari hat.
Yeah, I have a silver bag that I've been using lately. It's really cute. Okay. So mine is brown.
Oh.
Okay, brown. And it needs to have 5 zippers.
Oh,
wow.
Jeez. But
gosh.
But now I'm seeing a leather Moto jacket.
I'm seeing Moto jacket too.
A brown. Okay, where am I wearing this to? Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, where am I wearing this to? A steak dinner with Ryan Gosling.
That is so specific.
I know. When I was writing these, I was like,
dramatically, it's like she didn't write them.
Exactly.
I was. That was like the last one that I threw in. I was just watching something with him in it last night, and we had the steak, and I was like,
"Oh my gosh,
where would you go? Oh my gosh, wow!" So definitely like a chic. Oh, what if it was like? Yeah, no, it's gonna be like a brown leather jacket with like lots of gold zippers, like a zipper on the like the front, like zippered pockets, like zippers on the sleeve. It would be like really, and it would have like some quilting out. Like I love when they have a quilted or built up shoulder, maybe some studs. So definitely, oh my gosh.
Question: could you do like a long Moto jacket?
Oh yes,
like something like a little bit more drama and like extra,
like a Moto trench coat.
Exactly. Does that exist?
I mean, that's why we
it does
sew
now.
because we make things that
can.
don't exist. Oh my gosh, that would be, and I could still have it could be Moto top, trench bottom. It could be like a Moto jacket dress with a belted. So it kind of flare at and then the pockets like below. You could even have like side pocket, like angled zippered pockets with gold. Oh my gosh, that would be
so many
like
zippers.
A really beautiful, like a buttery brown leather.
Yeah, I like the idea of doing some zippers like up the side seam too, so that you can have that so you can like unzip them from the bottom, so that you've got like extra floppy, not floppy, but flair and drama and movement.
Oh my gosh. Well, I hope that these come true. these situations. I mean, you never know. Amanda could go to a haunted house.
I could.
I
could go.
I have to tell you, if I took my safari shirt and put a bow on it, it would also be my sew your roll. So
this is
double duty. I love it.
So crazy.
It is crazy. Super crazy.
All right. Well, after that, I mean, I feel like I already know what my sewing mojo is for the next little bit. But let's go around and talk about what is giving you your sewing inspiration this week. Kate, why don't you start?
Okay, so I actually am I'm really excited about this. I know that earlier in the year I had talked about I was trying to clean out my sewing room, but I really, really got inspired to really jump on that project, which had been kind of sitting half done a couple of weekends ago. And so my husband helped me out a little bit with certain parts of the room, and I cleaned out my sewing room. I threw away some scraps that I'll never use and found a place to put everything else. We put up some more shelves. I organized this funny little lip that I have around the edge of my room where I tend to keep things. And we took out the nasty, nasty fluorescent lights that used to be in my room and put in these beautiful LED panels. I don't know if you guys can tell that my light is a whole heck of a lot better in here than it ever has been before, but it is. And so now I've got a clean room with fantastic light, and I am so excited to work on some stuff in here.
That is awesome and highly
Mhm.
inspiring because
Yeah.
I'm in my sewing room and it is just it's a hot mess.
Mine was a pretty hot mess before, but yeah, we just did such a wonderful job, and it looks so
That's
good, and I'm so
awesome.
happy in here.
There's nothing better than like a
It really,
like,
it's true.
it's so great to just start a new project in like a fresh space.
Also, the LED panels are on dimmer switches, so if I want to get a glass of wine and turn down the lights and just sit in a dim room and sip wine, I can.
Bonus.
While sewing, that's I love doing that at night. So,
What about you, Meg?
I'm still working on my wrap dress, but that'll be done once I stop recording today, as we established earlier. But my lime green Zadie, that's on my next to-do list, and I have a very strong feeling that once I sew it up and wear it, I'm gonna be cutting another one right away. So
Yeah, you
I'm not
are.
even like putting the pattern away. Like
Don't.
I'm not even filing it away because I just know that it's gonna be so great. And it's like lime green. So we'll have to see if I can even top it with another one. So I'm really excited to sew that one up.
Remind me, are you doing long sleeves?
Yes, I'm
For that
doing long
one?
pants and long sleeves.
It's
Yeah.
going to be, oh yeah, so
Yeah,
good.
I'm
I feel
super
like
excited.
that one is like definitely not, don't put the pattern away. You're going to want to make more and more. And there's so many ways, there's some really surprising ways to hack it. I feel like jumpsuits are
Oh,
kind of harder to hack, but I've seen some really good. I mean, you can gather the sleeves at the end. You can
yes.
do all kinds of things.
Yeah, just real quick. I have speaking of what you said, like Tetris and all that, I didn't have enough to cut the bias strips to finish I cut everything, but like those, because bias strips take up so much, y'all. And I was cutting it so close, and so I was like, do I have the belt or the bias? And so I need to figure out another way. Maybe I can just go buy some like other lime green fabric that's just as close, or like could I turn it and stitch it, or yeah.
Do you have any fabric left at all?
I have it was like cutting it
No.
so close. I have zero fabric left.
I don't know. I mean, I love the belt, but could you figure out a way to not have a belt? Like if it had a button or some kind of
I don't know.
something?
I would like the belts.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, how do you feel about a little bit of contrast?
I don't know. I'll need to think about it. I just think so. Like, has anyone made it where you just stitch the opening, like you just serge it and then like turn and top stitch instead of using the bias finish? Or is that like?
Oh, you know what? I was
Trying to
thinking
think.
you were thinking about ties. For the bias finish,
Oh,
I
no,
have
no, no,
seen
no.
people do create draft a simple facing.
Oh, I could do maybe a
Yeah.
facing. And then I could do like like a contrasting that you don't see it, but when
Yeah.
I open it, it's a little. You
Yeah.
know what? That's what I'll do, a facing.
Yeah, just be aware that as the pattern sit, like the basic pattern
Yeah.
construction, there's no seam allowance taken out because the
Right.
bias goes straight on the top, and then
Oh.
so if you do turn it back or draft a facing, you are going
It's
to
going to
be
be a little bit more
reducing.
open.
Yeah, you're going to be reducing the seam allowance, the neck by, I don't know, I think it's like 3/8 of an inch or something. So just be aware that'll happen, but I don't think it's not that risque a top. It's
No, it's
It's
not.
kind of
I feel
And
like
I went,
Yeah.
and I went for I was in between size, and I went with the bigger size. So maybe
Perfect.
maybe I'll just try that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I was gonna say you might
Oh,
just want to pin out the edges and just kind of check where they hang to make sure you're not like getting too wide a V. But I mean, it's
yeah.
a wrap; it should be fine.
Yeah. And I could just put a snap on there. I've done that
Totally.
too before with, okay, no, I just wanted to see. And I'm sure there's so many Zadie sewer listeners
Oh, yeah.
too. I can't wait to sew the pattern.
It's going to be so good.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, so that's my SewJo. Lime green
Awesome.
Zadie jumpsuit.
How about you, Amanda?
Well, I usually have something really specific that is my SewJo, but as I have mentioned like 42 times already today, I feel like I'm kind of all over the place in terms of planning and what I want to sew next.
Yeah.
I've got some things cut out and then I let them sit and I just feel all over the place. But I just finished up an Ilford Jacket, which is a pattern by Friday
Ooh.
Pattern Company, and it's a chore coat that is long. There's a longer version, and I added even more length to it. So it's kind of like a chore trench shacket looking thing. And I love it so much. And as I was making it, I was like, wow, the denim and the chore coat just kind of feels like a little bit like a farm jacket. Like it has that workwear vibe, but something about the length and how it hangs, it's like ended up being really chic in a way that I love. And it's like so surprising that it just kind of made me fall in love with sewing all over again. To just you think about the various elements and then they just always come together in ways that surprise you. But it's a fun coat. I love it, and I'm gonna make one next for my hubby, although I think he doesn't need a chore trench coat in his life, so we're just gonna go with the basic chore coat length for him. But super fun
Cool.
pattern, just like delightfully surprising results, which
Oh,
I
I'll have
love.
to check it out.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's great. It's just more about after all these years, sewing can still surprise you, which is pretty amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
All right, thanks for sharing, you guys. Let's hop over into Sew and Tell. Last episode, we asked, how do you bring the kids in your life into your sewing practice? And we got some really great responses. So I'm going to kick us off. At Kim Me Go said, I've had my daughter choose fabric if it's something I will sew for her. I tell her what steps I take, and she can sit on my lap while I sew a few stitches. She's seen the parts of the sewing machine and knows the needle is sharp. She just turned 4, and she thinks I can sew anything. I'm barely able to sew in a straight line, but I love her confidence in me.
Oh, that is
so cute.
cute.
Adorable.
My son is just, I don't know. We practice giving each other compliments in my family a lot. And he is forever says, Mom, you're the best sewer in the world. So that quote really spoke to me.
Oh, that is so cute.
Yep.
That's adorable.
I need to train Julian to tell me that.
I know. I'm like, not really at all, but thank you. It means a lot.
It does. Aw.
Oh, that is so sweet. Oh, I feel like reading these answers. I just want kids.
Yeah, you do.
So we also heard from Ricky Sews, who said, I got to teach my 9-year-old niece how to use a sewing machine while at Christmas, and then again when visiting over the summer. The first time we made a hair scrunchie, and the second time I got her to help finish sewing headbands for her and her younger sister, and brought some scraps for her to practice on. I made them both matching t-shirt dresses. My oldest son, who is 6, likes to watch me sew sometimes and is fascinated by the sewing machine. A few weeks ago, I let him sit with me and showed him some basics. I love that.
That's great.
We're going to have a dude who sews.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got to work on that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
We had another comment from Dawn Sews. They said, I tried to interest my children in sewing when they were little. They really didn't want to. However, my youngest granddaughter, 3.5, is fascinated by it. One day she insisted we needed to make her some pants. Right then, she sat on my lap and helped me through all but the hemming of a simple pair of leggings. She did it on her own size. She did her own size check as soon as they looked like pants. It was delightful.
Aww.
That's so
Oh, that's
cute.
so
And I do wonder, we talked about this a little bit in that episode. I've been thinking more about sewing potentially skipping a generation because I hear
yes.
from a lot of people, I don't know if
Yep.
it's the like
It's
that when you would be teaching them how to sew,
yep.
they might be teenagers and not be interested in what you're interested
Mhm.
in,
Yeah.
just because you're their parent. So I don't know. I was thinking about that.
Mhm.
I wonder if there's sort of a philosophy too, like I don't need to learn how to do this. My mom can do this for me.
It's true.
And then you get to, well, this is a cool thing that grandma does, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think what my mom told me, like it's kind of almost like not really, but trauma from wearing all the kids had new dresses, but I always had to wear. Mom always put me in the handmade dress, and I could never have
Yes.
anything new. My mom had to make me everything, and so it's kind of I think some rebellion on my mom's
Totally.
half, like not taking
Totally.
on sewing herself, and then just the interest like is just still there, and so I think that's kind of
So
what she shared with
did your
me.
grandma sew, Meg?
Yeah, my grandmother sewed.
I don't
Yes,
know if I
yeah.
knew that.
Oh no,
I'm sure
yeah.
you've shared it, but I think I must
Yeah,
have missed it.
but
That's cool.
but when I was learning how to sew, so she didn't teach me, but because she kind of got out of sewing then, she
Mhm.
sewed when she was younger. But I have her sewing. I have actually both of my grandmothers sewed, and I have both of their sewing machines. But they were my dad's mom kind of lived out of town, and my dad's the youngest of 12 children, so she has tons of grandchildren. So
Wow.
I didn't take the time, for me. Yeah,
But you
but
got the sewing machine.
I got the sewing machine. I'm actually looking at it right now. It's my makeup. It's like that old Singer,
Yeah.
the iron, and I
Mhm.
love it. Yeah. So, yeah.
You know what I learned the other day? My dad told me that when he went to college, his mother sewed him a whole bunch of button down shirts for him to wear to college. He said that must have been very hard for her. That must have been very difficult for her. And I was like, I mean, once you've done it 2 times, it's not that hard
Mhm.
anymore. But
Mhm.
yeah, we kind of had an interesting discussion because she was a very very cool woman. My grandfather owned a hardware store, and she did like all of the bookkeeping and stuff for that. So and helped out at the store a lot. So she was kind of a businesswoman in her own way, though I don't know that she would have thought of herself that way. So I had never really heard much about her sewing, but apparently she did some.
So cool. So maybe there is something
Yeah.
to that.
Maybe there is.
Maybe.
Anyway, it was such a nice little conversation that we had and that the community
Yeah.
had around that. That was really
Mhm.
definitely kind of made me want to get in gear and try to help Ruby out with her sewing skills. Um this week we want to know, has Sew and Tell changed your sewing practice at all, and if so, how? So let us know. That's oh man, I
Yeah.
feel like
I know.
I'm going to cry.
I'm usually the one who writes the Sew and Tell questions, and so I was like, is this too like all about us? Like, is
Yeah.
this too focused on us? And if it is, let us know, and we'll
Yeah,
apologize for
sure.
it next time. But it has changed my sewing practice, and
Oh yeah.
I think
Same.
we'd like to believe that it's helped you guys learn some things or embrace some things or discover some things. So if it has, we'd
Mhm.
love to hear about it, and Amanda will cry.
Yes, probably. So
And
touching.
yeah, and being as a podcast listener myself, I know how other podcasts that I really like affect my life too.
Mhm.
I listen to so many other podcasts, and it's what I do well. I sew, and they always have effects on me and stuff. So yeah, it's just sometimes good to know.
And
So let us know on Instagram or on the show notes page, or you can always email us. But also be on the lookout for some giveaway awesomeness on our IG feed. We are going to have a whole week giveaways and all kinds of fun things to celebrate our 50th episode. So thank you for being a part of that.
50.
Yeah.
Yes.
Time to give back.
Definitely. And I also want to jump in real quick. It is now October, so it is now officially Pants Month. And
Yes.
and this month and next month, So Daily is running a sew along for our Como culottes, which are full length, wide leg pants that are really great for fall and spring, but especially fall right now. And I did the sewing along for this one, and so you can get that for free through the end of November. Just sign up and you can watch me sew it, and you can watch me mess it up like epically and have to have them put disclaimers on the on the screen to say, Kate sewed this wrong, don't do it this way, do it the other way. Which is incredibly embarrassing, but totally happened. I was filming multiple sew-alongs that day, and I was like, I cannot go back and fix this. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. That was not fine. I have got to find some way to make that look okay. Anyway, it's actually a really good sew-along, and it's a really good pattern. I tried mine on yesterday. They are amazing. And just ignore this one thing about the pocket, and everything else will go together beautifully. It'll be fine. It's like a basic pocket thing. You'll laugh because I really should have known better. But other than that, and you get the pattern for free. You don't even have to watch me mess it up. So yeah, check out the Como culottes on Sew Daily.
And we'll just call back to Kate sewing Superpower.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how I managed to totally fail. Like, apparently these culottes were my kryptonite or something. Pockets on screen are my kryptonite.
It could have been the whole doing 2 sew-alongs in a day
scenario.
I mean, that might have had like a little something to do with it.
It might, maybe just a little bit. Yeah.
Well, you guys, that was really, really fun.
Yeah.
That was
always nice
50 episodes of fun, right?
Yeah, it was.
Back. Yeah.
That might have to be our title.
50 episodes of fun. Maybe. We'll see. It's not, I was thinking about it, and we've done so many bonus episodes. It's not anything like our actual 50th episode.
Yeah.
But it's our 50th numbered episode. So that's all that matters.
Oh, thanks so much for tuning in. If this is your first episode, welcome. And if you've been with us from the beginning, thanks so much for sticking around. It's been a journey.
It's been a journey, and we're gonna keep going. And thanks for listening to us talk about ourselves for an hour today. We'll talk about sewing some more next time.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. Here's to another 50.
Another Cheers. 50. Happy stitching.
Yeah. Cheers.
Sew and Tell is a Sew Daily podcast and produced by Golden Peak Media. It's hosted and produced by Meg Healy, Amanda Carestio, and me, Kate Zeinard. Daisha Clay is our producer. Director of podcasts is Jared Mayer. Tiffany Warble is Director of Content. Kelsey Ratterman handles our marketing, and Andrea Lotz does all things digital. If you'd like more information on sponsoring or advertising on Sew and Tell, go to goldenpeakmedia.com.